We're live and recording for a very, very exciting and special conversation that we are going to have today with Rolla Karam. Rolla Karam is Senior Vice President of Content Acquisition at OSN, joining us all the way somewhere in the Middle East, and she'll just tell us where she's dialing in from today. Rolla, what an absolute pleasure to have you today. Speak to the Vitrina community. Welcome to the LeaderSpeak podcast. Just to give you a background, some of our listeners already know, LeaderSpeak podcast is a series that we run at Vitrina. This is to actually highlight and put the spotlight on innovators, thought leaders, CXOs within the entertainment supply chain who are doing some prolific work and some great work across the entertainment industry. Today, we are dialing into OSN and to your portfolio. Middle East has been such an exciting market for so many reasons. There's been a tremendous amount of curiosity within our members about what's happening in the Arabic world and Middle East in particular. So with that, again, just a very, very warm welcome to you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting me, first of all. Good morning from I'm based in Dubai, and good evening to you. So yeah, the time zones are quite, I think it's 10 hours or 11 hours.
That's right.
That's fine. So
I'm
yes,
currently in the San Francisco Bay Area at this point.
yes, we are based in Dubai. This is the headquarters for OSN. We do have offices in Saudi Arabia. We have offices in Egypt and Kuwait and Lebanon. So, but the headquarters is based in Dubai, and that's where my office and the team and all the corporate offices are.
Fantastic. And OSN is a big name, again, very, very well liked and well appreciated with all the work.
OSN has been established since, OSN was two platforms back in the days, Orbit Network and Showtime. They merged in 2008, I believe. And then since then, it's become one company. We are known as a premium pay TV platform. And our main market is obviously JCC. Core market is Saudi Arabia, and emphasis on the rest of GCC. Egypt is another big market for us, and the rest of the Middle East. We are available in 23 countries across of the Middle East and North Africa.
Wow. That is a fairly wide coverage, and it's, again, like I said, it's a market that has been in focus for several reasons. So maybe that's a great place for us, Rolla, to get started, right? If you could maybe give us a background about both OSN, where the business stands right now. Usually we have a initial section in LeaderSpeak, which is an elevator pitch, which is really about what the business is and what the lines of businesses are. So if you could maybe give us a background to where OSN stands right now, that'd be awesome.
Currently, OSN is a premium entertainment. I need to stress it's entertainment, purely entertainment platform. We have two products, OSN TV, which is the traditional linear TV, whereby we have our OSN branded channels, thematic channels, and we have a bouquet of pass-through channels, encrypted and non-encrypted, as well as we have apps. 2 years ago, we launched OSN TV Box, which is a hybrid box, very easy, plug and play, and you see all our channels, as I said, pass-through channels and apps. You pay a monthly fee. And the other product, and that's where our focus is shifting, or actually we're in the middle of the shift, is OSN Plus, which is our streaming app. And at the moment, it has, I would say, around 90% is Western content. The rest 10 or 15% is a mix of Arabic, because we're from the region for the region. So we're trying to enhance our Arabic catalog. Turkish as well. Turkish content does amazingly well on our platform, and we have a kids component. So in my capacity, I'm the head of content acquisition. So I service to two products, and we have deals across the region, globally, and big studio deals as well.
That is fascinating. And then you mentioned that earlier that the overall coverage was 23 countries.
Correct.
And then you mentioned that Saudi, GCC, and then of course Egypt were the key markets. How about Turkey as well? Is that also a market that you service?
We do not cover Turkey. Turkey is not part of the region for two reasons. Rights, obviously, when a studio locks a deal with you, you only have the Middle East and North African rights. Turkey is outside that territory, and we actually buy content from Turkey.
Understood.
Yeah.
No, that's fascinating. And then I was curious also about a little bit about your journey. How did you get here? And also just the interest in the entertainment sector. When was the time that you said, oh, you know what, this is the sector that I'm super excited about?
Yeah, so it started 30 years ago, almost in March 1996. I was in
Nice.
Lebanon. I'm Lebanese Canadian, so I got headhunted. I was fresh graduate, and a British Lebanese distribution company had opened an office in Beirut back in the days, and I applied for the job. We know back in the days we used to go and hand in our resumes, not like
Yes.
today. And I got the job as assistant to the head of acquisition. And I started as a junior level, and I worked my way up. I did 10 years, I think, in that company. So I was on the other side of the table. I was buying content and distributing that content to all the platforms in the Middle East. Back in the days, it was so complicated for a studio or for a Western producer to come to the region and distribute the content. So we were kind of the content aggregator on behalf of the studios or on behalf of the producers that wanted their content to be shown in the Middle East. So I was doing that part of the job. So I was on the other side of the table. And then in 2014, I got headhunted to come to Dubai to work for Integral. It's the content aggregator for STC in Saudi. I did that for a few years, and then I moved to OSN. And since then, OSN has been my home in Dubai.
Fantastic.
Now I'm on the other side of the table.
I was about to say that you've done one side, and now
And now
you're
I'm
on
on
the
the
other
other
side.
side of the table, correct.
Fabulous, fabulous. And even Integral itself seems like a really exciting
It was a beautiful journey.
intervention.
It was the journey for me. Like it brought me to it brought me to Dubai. It opened up doors and opportunities for me. I would say it was a pivot in my life. It was really a very important journey to me to join Integral.
All right. So that was a great description of the journey. Now let's come to your present day. So give us a little bit about your portfolio at this point. You know, what are the aspects that you oversee?
So for the time being, as I said, I have a team where we service OSN TV and OSN Plus. Whatever content they need, we have a programming team. They identify the gaps that we have. We go source for that content. Having said that, my budget is mainly now committed to certain major output deals that I have with the major studios. When I say major studios, that means the major US studios. We are known in the region for the home of HBO, and 2 years ago we've expanded the relationship, and now we have the WBD space under OSN exclusive. So all the Pay One series and movies are within OSN product, exclusive in the Middle East, and still are the home of HBO. We have other studios on board and independent studios. We deal with everyone, to be honest, with the likes of Lionsgate, New Regency, Fremantle, to name, this is few companies that we deal with. We have our content offering is scripted series, unscripted, reality shows, kids content, Arabic series, movies, Turkish series as well. It's a mix of all entertainment genre for all ages, but mainly I would say 25 and above. This is our age group.
Got it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then you mentioned that you've got great relations on the Hollywood studio side, the US studio side.
Yes.
How about some of the other European regions, you know, some of the other English-speaking markets, UK, for instance?
Yes, UK is a very big market for us.
Okay.
We have relationships with Sky, ITV. I'm naming a few. Maybe you need to edit this, by the way, but because I deal with everyone. I literally deal with all content providers across the globe. But because we are known for premium Western content, so we tend to go after the companies that produce premium scripted series, be it in London or Canada or the US or sometimes Australia, but because of the language, it's a little bit complicated for us. Our audience here, as I said, in Saudi Arabia, they're more attuned to the American and British accent rather than any other accent. So that's why we try to focus on content from the US and the UK. Having said that, we're always open to receive other content, and depends if it fits our criteria and our needs, then of course we'll have a deal with that content provider.
Understood. Understood. And then, so that's one part of the equation, which is just the acquisition of content. And then
Correct.
you mentioned that there are also some of your own channels, and then some pass-through channels.
Yes.
So is
So that is under our capacity as well, under my department. So we have the
Okay.
pure finished content acquisition, finished, because I don't pre-buy or pre-select if the content is not finished. So I have to stress on that. The other part of what I do with my team, obviously, is we handle the Arabic channels. We have 3 Arabic channels that for our linear TV, and that's where, we're from the region, for the region. We speak the language, we know the culture. So it's very important to us as well to keep our flagship channels, the Yahalas, it's called Yahala. And we fill those channels with content from the region, JCC content, we call it Khaliji content, or Pan-Arab content. Pan-Arab has become very popular in the last 5-6 years. Pan-Arab content means content that is produced between 2 countries, mainly Lebanon and Syria, or maybe a mix of Lebanon, Syria, Egypt. And now it's actually widening further, where you see content that is from Saudi, a mix of Lebanese, Egyptian. It can be very diversified content, especially we live in a very diversified country in UAE and in Saudi as well, because it's growing massively. And then Egyptian content is a must on our platform. Egyptian content travels widely in the region and it's the Hollywood of the Middle East, let's put it this way. So it's very important for us to license content from Egypt and to sustain our channels. And the last component, I would say, is Turkish content. Turkish does amazingly well for our audience, and that content is actually dubbed into Arabic. We use Syrian colloquial to dub Turkish content, and the subscriber has the option to watch it in V, which is version, which is the Turkish, with subtitles into English or Arabic. And the other option, as I said, is dubbed into colloquial Syrian. So this way we can actually reach a wider audience.
Fascinating. And then does that also apply to Hollywood content
Yes,
and
that's
English
a good
content?
question. Yes, thank you for flagging this. No, all American, English, or non-Arabic, non-Turkish content is only subtitled on our platform. So you watch it with OV, original version, with English subtitles, and English captioning, and Arabic subtitling. And for the North African countries, we have French subtitles. And having said that, if the content is available from the studio dubbed into French, we would love to have that version as well. So as a subscriber, she will have the option to either watch it in English or dubbed in French for the North African territory.
Understood. And then usually the Arabic subtitling is done by OSN themselves?
We work with everyone in the region. We have lots of companies that we work with. This is actually under my department, the language services as well. We do subtitle everything. All the content on OSN is subtitled. And you can, if you wish not to have it with subtitles, you can just
switch it off.
Click with no subtitles. We work with everyone. Recently, we're working on an AI tool, because as you know, the industry is evolving, and so is languages. So we're working on securing AI tools for efficiency and faster results. So we're working as we speak on enhancing this tool to become more of an AI-driven.
I'm going to come back to that one because, I'd love to understand, how the experience has been and the testing and
we're
early
going through
results.
so many tests for the past year. We've done so many tests.
Fabulous. So I think that I'm going to definitely come back to that question. But continuing the theme relating to your portfolio, so that's a pretty wide portfolio, but you also are responsible for originals.
Yes. So this is, we've been doing OSN Originals for a few years now. Since COVID, we launched one scripted series. We launched unscripted talk show, and we had few movies, bits and pieces. We are not very strong on the original production as of yet. Because as I said, our OSN Plus and OSN team, OSN TV has always been known for premium Western content, but we want to introduce local original production, and we're working on this strategy. As I'm not sure if you heard, but WBD has put an investment last year to produce original content with OSN. And we're working with the WBD team on that front.
Nice.
I'm overlooking that department for now, the original production department. I receive pitches on a daily basis from the region. We've been reviewing with the team all these pitches, and I'm now talking internally to WBD to shortlist few projects, and hopefully we will lock and start working on the development and produce that content. And then we can claim OSN Original and build a story around it by end of the year, hopefully. By 2026, we should have a project or two, hopefully, and have on our screen content that is original for OSN.
Nice. Fantastic. And, I wish you all the very best for that particular set of initiatives. Again, such an exciting portfolio, Rolla, that you talked about. I thought the original piece was also pretty special because, again, this is such a new area for OSN itself. So I'm sure.
Can I just say as well, because I know I get lots of pitches from abroad as well, pitching beautiful ideas, beautiful stories. But our focus for now is to produce content in Arabic, especially in 26 and 27. But later on, we might actually co-produce with a studio a mix of content Arabic, English, or any other language. But our immediate focus for 26 and 27 is content that is Arabic, resonates in the region. Our subscriber will have affinity towards that content. So it has to be Arabic, local to local, and hopefully in the future will become local to global.
Fantastic. And within the original scheme, is it feature? Is it TV series?
Yes, good question. Actually, for now, I would like to focus on scripted series.
Okay.
Movies are nice to have, and we have actually few festival movies that we claimed OSN Original. And the last one, I'm very proud to say that all that's left to view is OSN Original for the Middle East. And it was shortlisted to the Oscars. And we are very proud of this movie. And we will launch it middle of March after on Eid al-Fitr, after Ramadan. So this was our latest baby that we produced or co-produced and co-financed with few entities in the region and outside the region. And we're very, very proud to say that OSN will have it on our platform soon.
Fantastic.
But the main focus for now is scripted series.
Okay.
Yes, to launch with.
Understood. And are there specific genres that you are more excited about? Is it formats as well that you're open for?
We can do format adaptations because I'll be honest with you, it's easier, and just as long as it's packaged and done for the Arabic audience. It's not like a copy-paste. It has to be altered to fit our audience and to fit the culture. Remember, we're talking to around 23 different countries, even though we're all Arabs, but we are very different. Like the Levantine are very much different from the JCC, from the North Africans, from Egypt. So as long as we make this piece of content across the region resonates, the culture resonates within the region and adapt to the culture, then we're fine when it comes to adaptation. Owning your own IP is definitely something that we aim to get.
Okay.
But this is as well work in progress. As for genre, I would say any genre, we're open to receiving any genre at the moment. But for someone to come to me and pitch a sci-fi, it's a little bit hard to implement and execute in the region. We're far to doing that kind of genre. We'll keep it to the experts. But I mean, thriller, crime, thriller, drama, comedy elements, then that's fine with me as well.
Understood. And then talk to us a little bit about the WBD angle here for the originals piece. So if you get pitched an idea, do you then have a collaboration with WBD to jointly
Yes, so the first stage would be they send me an email or I meet with them. They pitch the idea. I review it internally with our team. We have an expert of team that obviously they're Arabic. They know the region, and I have other team members that are from the UK or America, but especially for original production, we prefer for now to have Arabic speaking, because when we read the script or the synopsis, it's in Arabic, and when you translate it into English, sometimes it loses its flavor or the essence
Okay.
of the meaning of the synopsis. So we prefer to read it in Arabic. Then if there's an English translation, then if it's been shortlisted, then I package it and I send it to WBD. We meet with them and we go over the projects that we've shortlisted as a first stage. And then we move to the next stage. And WBD has to put their input, obviously they're the investors. And we take it further to next steps.
Understood. No, that explains the originals piece. I was also curious about you when you were introducing OSN, you were very firm about entertainment, the word entertainment. I was kind of curious, saying what does
Yes.
that entail? Yeah, if you can maybe explain a little bit about the entertainment piece.
I'll be very frank with you. The reason I'm stressing on entertainment because I get approached for sports content as well. As much as I would love to have sports content, first of all, it's a beast by itself. It requires a massive budget. And for the content that we hope to get on OSN, it's obviously tied with other platforms or other pay TV platforms in the region, which at the moment is not available. But for me to build our sports offering or our sports portfolio on OSN, or OSN Plus, it requires a massive budget, massive content offering. And I'm not able to just bring sports content, bits and pieces, because it will be lost within our space. And it's hard for us to market or to create a story and craft something about sports if it's not big offering on sports. So that's why I stress on entertainment. We're very good in the entertainment sector. We know what our audience are watching, and we continue to grow our entertainment content offering. And I have to stress something as well. When we launch any piece of content, it has to be same minute as its original commissioning platform. So for instance, I'll give you an example. The Night of the Seven Kingdom, this is HBO's recent series that I think today we're on the second episode. So we release it at OSN same minute as US. So as if you're actually in the US watching this content. It's released on our platform same minute. So this is very important for our audience for two things, because we are premium Western platform at the moment, but I'm hoping to grow into the Arabic space more and more. And the second most important reason is to fight piracy, because piracy is very big. And for such a big content and to fight piracy, that's why we go same minute as its original commissioner.
Understood. So that makes a lot of sense actually, and again, it's just very attractive for then a lot of viewers to
Yes.
sort of have it at the same minute that it's getting released in the US.
You're sitting, if an ex sitting in Saudi Arabia, as if he's actually watching in the US, he's sitting in the US and watching that content. It might be with the difference, obviously, in the time, because it's like probably 4 a.m., whereas it's 10 in the US, but it is, this is one of our USPs at OSN.
Understood. No, that makes a ton of sense. So, Rolla, since you talked about knowing the audience preferences within the region, I wanted to sort of go a little bit deeper into just what works in the Arab world, in the region. What are the top sort of themes, genres that really work, and how's the audience evolving? Because again, we've seen the whole onslaught of digital.
Yes.
And I'm sure audiences everywhere are changing dramatically. Talk to us a little bit about some of those observations that you're picking up.
So I'll talk to you about KSA or Saudi Arabia, because this is 60% or 65% of our audience comes from Saudi Arabia. So, but then you would know the rest would probably align on the same level. So for instance, for Saudi Arabia, we know that what content the American US scripted series works really good in Saudi Arabia. We noticed that crime, thriller, horror, and drama does very well, as well as Turkish, long-running Turkish series. It's in the top 5 on the platform. And don't forget the Arabic. Arabic is key for localization, and Arabic is key for our audience. So we always have to have introduced new Arabic series, or movies, be it from Saudi or the rest of the region and Egypt. And exclusive is very important. Exclusive content is very important for any platform to survive. Else, if you get a non-exclusive content, it can be watched anywhere or it can be available on YouTube, then it defeats the purpose for any subscriber to come and pay you a fee to watch that content. So exclusivity for us is key, and that's why we have the major studios exclusive on OSN Plus and OSN TV. And then we try as much as possible to get Arabic content that is exclusive. I am growing that content offering on Arabic. Our audience, especially during the month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, which is happening soon in February, I think 17 or 16. This is a very special month for the region, and viewing habits increases a lot, and viewing habits with family increases a lot. So you need to be very culturally aware that during that month of Ramadan, the content has to be family friendly and something that resonates within them, and they can build an affinity towards it. And that's why you would see that month is heavily driven by Arabic content from the region. Scripted series, shows, talk shows, entertainment shows, but it's all from the region. And you see that during that month, the viewing habits completely shift to watching Arabic content more than any other language. So that month is very, very important and critical for the region. And for us as a platform, we need to be available for them. So this year we've decided to license scripted drama series for Ramadan, just to have a flavor of it. Yes, we're known for the best. I always say we're known for the best from the West, but we need to complement it, content from the East and from the region. So this year we decided to license content from the region for Ramadan, so as we have a flavoring of Ramadan on our platform.
Understood. It's a great commentary on what's getting viewed. You know, one of the things that we see within our Vitrina system is that when we monitor a lot of deals and transactions of what kind of content is getting produced, what kind of content is getting licensed, it always strikes us that, you know, Europe is this big demand center for factual content, documentaries. But Asia just doesn't, I mean, there aren't any takers except for the Australian market.
Yeah.
Asia just doesn't buy or acquire documentaries and factual content. I was kind of wondering about Middle East. Where does the Middle East sit?
I have to say we're a bit similar like Asia when it comes to factual. But having said that, it doesn't mean that we don't have that space as well or that genre. We actually we rely on our third-party channels. So we have the Hearst channels, previously known as A&Es. And we have the Discovery Bouquet, so all their channels are on our platform. And as well, we have it on OSN Plus. So we have all the Discovery Plus and all the Discovery content. I think we have around 10,000 hours of Discovery content on our platform, OSN Plus.
Wow.
So we do have that genre, and it does have its audience, but it's not, as you said, we are more like the Asian. The audience lean towards more scripted series or unscripted, but more so the reality shows, the fluffy, I call it the fluffy content. It's like easy watch content. Yes. So yes.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. And again, Asia is exactly that. Understood. So, you know, again, what has been fascinating about the Arabic and the Middle Eastern market is that it skipped the entire cable sort of revolution. It was largely satellite market.
Yes.
And now with the onslaught of digital, how have audiences changed in recent days?
So we still have a satellite, obviously, for our legacy subscribers. It's shifting, and the audience as well are shifting. That's why we introduced OSN TV Box 2 years ago. As I said, it's plug and play. You just plug it. I have it at home. Very easy. I don't need a satellite, and I just need an internet. And you just plug it, and you have everything in there. All the channels, all the pass-through channels, and even apps. We have an app proposition as well. Yes. Okay. So it has we have like few apps, and we're working with securing more global apps on our this box. But as well, as you said, people are watching more and more, or they're going to streamers rather than the traditional viewing habits. Because you can, as you said, you can take your account and watch it anywhere and everywhere. For instance, for OSN Plus, it's available in 23 countries. And but outside the region, OSN Plus is not available because of, as I said, because of rights. So we are only available in the Middle East and North African territories. And it's easy. Like if I go to Lebanon to see my family, I have OSN account. I'll just open it there and watch content. If I travel to Egypt or I go to Saudi, it's more accessible, and you just put it in your bag as if, and then travel with it, and you watch the content.
Nice.
Whereas back in the old days, you're like, it's a curated and programmed channel, but it's not as friendly as it is now. And it's like there's an appointment viewing for it. Nowadays, times change. I work full time. I go home. I watch it whenever I want, wherever I want. If I have insomnia, for instance, I go and open OSN Plus and watch something instead of appointment viewing. So, and that shift is happening not just with me, with all the audience in the region and globally as well. With my generation, and obviously the younger generation are way advanced than us. It's only their viewing habits has been shifted from, or it hasn't actually reached the long format viewing. We noticed that with the younger generation, they watch short content, which is their attention. I think their attention span is or they don't have patience. They don't have the patience for watching long content.
I actually interviewed recently, executive from Call Group, China, which is the owners of Real Shot.
Yes.
One of the stats, Rolla, that really, I was doing triple somersaults sitting on my chair, was that young women 25 to 35 years old were watching on an average 22 episodes of 1 minute each.
Oh, yes, that's very
these
popular.
the micro series, right? And I'm like, wow, that is fascinating. And it's expensive. To actually watch some of these micro drama series, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and it's actually it's expensive to make if you want to produce it with high quality. So micro drama in the region is rising.
Okay.
It was an initiative that we discussed to maybe bring on OSN Plus, but we shifted now. We said we have other priorities to focus on for this year. So we might actually bring the subject of we call it vertical drama, maybe in 27, but not this year, not at the moment. But I actually went to Istanbul in August. I got invited by a production house that they're producing vertical drama. And the amount and the energy and the money they spend, it's really, but they were producing premium Turkish vertical drama. And it was expensive to make for 1 minute. So it's, but I understand the viewing habits, yes, 22 episodes, that's 22 minutes of your time. And because it's fast. So yes, it's, you're hooked on it and you want to know what's going to happen next. And especially if you have insomnia at night, you would watch it. I would say that's what happens to me. I was like, what's happening now? But it can be expensive. And then for you to license as a platform, for me to license the 1 minute or the series, I would feel very bad because my fees would be really compared to a proper scripted series, a long commercial hour or a box office movies, it's going to be very different. But I feel for the production house that is producing that content, but the financials does not, to be honest.
Justify that.
Yeah, it doesn't justify. And that's why there's, I think, 2 platforms in the region now, 2 Arabic platforms in the regions that have vertical dramas.
Interesting. But clearly, I think some of the audiences are changing quite dramatically. And that's one of the changes that you are also seeing in the region.
Oh, yes. Especially with the new generation. I know from I have 2 boys. Yeah, one is watching content that I watch because we talk about it. He's older, much older. So we talk about this. But the younger one, he's never watching TV content. He's on the social platforms like the TikToks and the other ones, or not even for vertical drama. It's just these short content, that they're watching. But
the Instagramming.
Yes, but we noticed something this generation. Once they reach an age of, let's say, 22 and above or 23 and above, once they graduate from school, then they'll start working. Then they have time to actually watch proper content and the content that we watch. And that's what happened with my kid. My son is now 27. And before that, we never had any similar viewing habits. But then when he started working, and then we're talking, he lives in Canada, and it's like, Mom, what are you watching now? He's watching the same content because he grew from that period of being like he didn't have time, and he was watching something entertaining but very short. Now he's working, he has a job, and he has the time to watch content that resonates with me. Whereas my younger son, he's still in university. He doesn't have the time, so he watches TikTok or I don't know, content on other platforms. But when he gets older, I'm sure the viewing habits will change.
Got it. Understood. Fascinating to sort of see the entire portfolio as well from a content perspective. So Rolla, just to summarize, right? So you have your own channels, you have pass-through channels. I'm guessing that there is a catch-up element, there is an on-demand element.
Of course.
Right.
So I'll explain. I'll go back to OSN TV. OSN TV is a product where we have our OSN linear channels.
Yes.
Thematic linear channels, OSN series, OSN movies, comedy, kids, meza, which is the food, and different genres, obviously. We have the pass-through channels. We have the on-demand. We have an on-demand section, and we have the store, which is the transactional and EST. That's OSN TV box with apps. OSN Plus is just a streaming app with all the content that I have on OSN TV is very similar on OSN Plus as well.
Okay.
The same minute, exclusivity, very current. That's what we have. And then obviously, the rest of the portfolio is library content. Obviously, you need library.
Correct. So I was curious also about the pass-through channels. So some of their content, does that also come in an on-demand fashion?
Correct. So what we've done over the past few years when we renegotiated these deals, we've actually negotiated to have VOD assets, a certain number of hours to be made available on OSN Plus and OSN On Demand. So that content we can utilize on OSN Plus as well from them, and it's diversify our content offering, and economically it makes sense.
Understood. That just explains really well now all the offerings that OSN has. This is again we sort of observing these changes globally, and I was curious about what's happening in the Middle East, which is that with the broadcast model and the TV channel model changed quite a bit. Box office has also taken an impact post-COVID. Box office again was there in pockets in the Middle East.
Box office in the Middle East is very important still.
Okay.
Very, very important. Like if you go to the malls on the weekend or even weekdays, cinemas are always very busy. And very, very busy. And Saudi, with the launch of opening so many cinemas now, like the last few years, box office is still very much in demand. So there's lots of movies that are released on as a standard industry on Thursdays, and they do amazingly well, the American box office movies. And that's why when we get WBD Pay One movies, it's obviously after its window, after its theatrical release from the US and UAE or the region, plus it goes to its transactional window, and then it comes to us. And so I think it's around 6 to 9 months from theatrical release. We're trying to make it shorter, but because there are deals in place with on the transactional side. So, but we try as much as possible to bring it more closer to the theatrical release. But box office and theaters are still very much in demand in this region.
And with the changes that have happened on the commissioning of programming, especially with broadcast and linear, are you seeing some depletion in the amount of content that's coming in? Talk to us a little bit about, is there the same amount of content that's still being produced, or is there some impact?
There is some impact, and production has increased massively. The cost has increased massively in the region, in Egypt, because of the devaluation of their pound. In Lebanon as well, production has increased massively because everything is in US dollars, and in Turkey as well. So I would say there's lots of supply in the region, from the region, for the region, and from outside the region to the region, but there's not that much demand.
Okay.
So, and like, I wish we can, like, as I said, like I get sometimes over 50 emails on different ideas, different stories, pitches that they want us to have a look and review, and hopefully we green light a project of theirs. But it's so hard for me, given like there's so much during the day and I have other businesses to take care of. So we need to be very careful, especially because we're launching with original production new. I need to be very careful with our selection. But as I said, there are so many beautiful creators in this region, and they have so much stories to tell. The region has so many stories to talk.
Yes, yes.
There's so much to highlight. Instead of bringing IPs or adaptation from outside the region, we have
That's
our
right.
own IPs here. We can actually, I would love one day that our IPs would travel to the US or to the
Globally.
bigger markets or to Asia or Africa and talk about them. But this is not the case at the moment. One day it will be. But yes, I find it that there's less demand, but there's more supply on the original side and other content as well. Remember, we're platforms nowadays, there's budget constraints, and there's so much you can do with your budget. There are priorities for each platform. My priority for OSN Plus and OSN TV, since we're doing very good on premium Western, to maintain that offering, maintain our proposition, but complement it with Arabic content, complement it with content from Turkey or Korea or from elsewhere. But it has to make sense financially and for my audience. Will it resonate? I get as well content from, let's say, LATAM. I would love to bring LATAM back in it used to be in the 90s where it was so popular. But I need a budget. I need a bigger budget. And I can't just bring one piece of content and publish it on my platform. It will get lost. So if I were to offer a proper LATAM content, I need a tray of minimum of 20 series. So it can resonate, I can build a narrative, and I can do a proper marketing campaign. Same as when I get pitched for non-American or non-English content from Europe. And there are lots of good European shows from Scandinavia and the rest of Europe that I would love to have on my platform. But again, I need a massive budget and a proper tray to build that portfolio.
Understood. No, that makes a
I
ton of
need to
sense,
be
and
very conscious about my spending.
that's right. Yep. And a lot of I think companies and players that are disciplined in the current scheme of things are the ones who are really then able to sort of invest some
Yeah.
of that back into the content,
Correct.
as long as they exercise prudence in the spending.
Yeah, we have to be very careful of what we bring and why we're bringing this than that, because it's all about, it's become OSN has been or is becoming data-driven platform. We have our research department, and they furnish us with the data, and accordingly we go and shop around for content.
Understood. So, before we go into the 2026 plans, Rolla, I was curious about two things that you mentioned. One is you talked about the deals that you have with some of the international studios and partners. You mentioned those as output deals. Is that the primary way that you deal with some of these partners?
Yes. So it's good now to tell the world that I no longer do output deals or
Okay.
long output deals. I don't do that anymore. There are some deals that I've inherited from my predecessors.
Okay.
And we had to continue with them, the obligation. But moving forward, I will deal with every studio, major studio or any studio, but I do not do any more long output deals. I might do a 2-year, but beyond that, it's up for negotiation. Because as you said, the industry is evolving. Everything is evolving.
Yes.
Content itself is evolving. So why commit myself to content from 5 years from now? And it might change completely. My content offering might change. If I'm doing amazingly well in Arabic, I might actually reduce my Western budget and actually allocate the rest of that budget into Arabic if I'm being successful in producing Arabic content. So that's why I don't like to commit to long deals. I love standalone package deals, title by title, few package deals. It's fine with me. Output deals, I'm trying to shy away from, and this is what we're doing now. This is moving forward.
No, very clear, actually. That really helps. Just again, lay down the rules that you have for your portfolio. And then I wanted to come back to the AI piece that you talked about. Very exciting news that you shared, Rolla. Again, if you could talk a little bit about the experiments that you've had, what's been the experience with the Arabic subtitling and the quality of that from these AI systems?
Very smart question. Yes. So we've been working for the past year with my team, the language services department, on tools. We've got pitches from lots of companies focused on AI subtitling and dubbing. So far, on the English space, it's perfect. There are few mistakes because our quality and the standard is very important for us. On the English space, we're okay, but when it comes to Arabic, we're yet to find a tool that is perfecting Arabic translation. And we need to be careful as well when we do Arabic. As I said, we are catering to 23 countries, let's say. When I speak to an Egyptian or to a Saudi, we speak different. Dialects are different, and some words are understood differently from Egypt to Lebanon to Saudi or yeah. So you need to be careful. But when we're subtitling, we use simplified Arabic or classic white Arabic, which is simplified and can be understood by all the region in the Middle East and North Africa. However, as well, you need to understand that when we're subtitling a piece of content, if you're subtitling a scripted series, it's different from subtitling a factual documentary to a comedy series. The words are different, the vocabulary is different, and the Arabic itself is different. So AI is still a bit not ready on the Arabic front on translation. This is still work in progress for us. I would love to introduce AI soon this year. It's part of the initiatives that we're working on. But we're still working with the tech team and outsourcing some houses that are providing AI tools.
Interesting. And I'm guessing that the AI does some amount of heavy lift, and then there are
efficiency.
human quality.
This year, 26 is all about efficiency at OSN, like any other company, or like not any other company, like every company's entertainment and outside the entertainment sector. It's all about efficiency.
Understood. This is super useful to understand. Coming to the final segment, Rolla, about our conversation, 2026 plans. There were 2 or 3 aspects I want to cover for 2026. One is you talked a little bit about the AI testing. You talked about micro series. You talked about originals. These are all new initiatives, I'm guessing, that your portfolio has. And then if you can sort of give us a flavor about what's going to hold most of your attention in 2026 as you run your portfolio.
So yes, because I'm stressed on time, back-to-back meetings.
Yeah.
26 for me at the moment looks amazing on the Western front. We have amazing series that are coming from various content providers and various studios. That is by default. We have lots of stories to tell. The other initiative that we're working on, aside from the AI for subtitling, is original production. This is my big baby now. I need to focus and concentrate on original production, Arabic original production for now. And this is our big focus. Obviously, in the back end, there's always the tech team, the enhancement on OSN Plus. There's always things to do with the product itself and to make it more friendly. So we're always busy in the back end working on that. But for me and my team and what we want to showcase on our platform is hoping to claim few original pieces on OSN by end of the year. Starting with All That's Left to View on OSN in March, our movie that has been shortlisted to the Oscars.
Yes.
Or nominated. And then hopefully by end of the year, we have a scripted series, 1 or 2, that we can talk about.
Fantastic. Rolla, this has been such a fascinating conversation.
Likewise.
I wanted to, from all of us at Vitrina and from our community of 100,000 plus professionals in the industry, I want to wish you all the very best in all of these new initiatives that you talked about.
Thank you.
These are very exciting, very progressive ones, and I would love to dial back maybe towards the middle of the year to see how things are progressing.
Yeah,
and just
perfect.
To reconnect back to your experiences and learnings from those.
Yes, let's do that. Or if you ever come to our part of the world, so yeah, but don't come in the summer because it's boiling hot, like extremely hot here.
Perfect.
Very nice.
But thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for this time. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.